Now, all agree that the moral crimes committed here by Ryan Reynolds against Justin Baldoni have amounted to high treason.
Not meant with disrespect. It's
no,
just,
absolutely not.
You got to earn it.
You got to throw a lot of bricks to make a wall,
That's
to get to here where we're now first billed. Okay, so
Hollywood loves a good bromance, right? The playful banter, the camaraderie, the laughs. It's all so entertaining. But what if that bromance is nothing more than a carefully orchestrated facade? What if, behind the cheeky Instagram posts and red carpet hijinks, lies a simmering pot of resentment, manipulation, and outright hostility? Well, buckle up because the tea is scorching, and this time, it's Ryan Reynolds who's found himself in the hot seat. The man known for his quick wit and impeccable comedic timing might just have a darker side that's been hidden beneath his polished charm, and his longtime frenemy, Hugh Jackman, seems to have had enough.
Now, and I'm just curious, how does it feel now that everyone knows that you're a liar? How does that feel? Good?
Let's rewind for a moment, back to the days when the so-called friendly feud between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman was one of Hollywood's favorite running jokes. Fans ate it up. Whether it was Hugh poking fun at Ryan's questionable movie choices or Ryan roasting Hugh's Australian roots, it all seemed like harmless fun. But according to recent revelations, what we saw in public may not have been the full story. Behind the scenes, insiders are now alleging that Ryan's playful digs were far from innocent and that Hugh may have been enduring a consistent pattern of disrespect and toxicity for years.
I think that Ryan Reynolds, Kate thinks Kate thinks he's super frenemy with me, or even just that he hates me. I could see him hating me. But I said on Hot Ones, I went on Hot Ones and I said that, what was great about Deadpool is they covered up his handsome face because he's so distracting. He must know this.
So what's really going on? According to sources close to the situation, Hugh Jackman has quietly tolerated Ryan Reynolds' behavior for some time now. But the breaking point apparently came during the filming of their latest project together, the highly anticipated Deadpool and Wolverine crossover. While fans were thrilled to see these two share the screen again, insiders claim that the on-set dynamic was anything but friendly. Ryan, who reportedly has full creative control of the Deadpool franchise, allegedly used his position to undermine Hugh and treat him like an afterthought. One insider even described it as collapse by 1,000 paper cuts, with Ryan constantly making snide comments and passive-aggressive remarks toward Hugh, all while ensuring the cameras were rolling when their banter could be spun as comedy gold.
It's so distracting to look at him, and guys don't want to laugh at him because he looks like the guy that f***ed your high school girlfriend. And then girls don't really want to laugh at him. They just think he's cute, so they'll just look at him. Like Ryan Gosling. Girls don't care if he is talking or acting.
Accurate.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
But it doesn't stop there. Ryan's controlling behavior reportedly extended far beyond his interactions with Hugh. Rumors are swirling that other members of the crew also found themselves on the receiving end of Ryan's alleged bad behavior. Take the makeup artist who worked on the Deadpool films, for instance. According to a shocking report, Ryan once threatened to destroy this person's career simply because they weren't available for some reshoots. The makeup artist was out of the country, working on another project, completely standard in the industry, but Ryan allegedly saw this as a personal affront. He told them, "If you don't come back and do my makeup, you'll never work in this town again," a source revealed. It's the kind of over-the-top power play that screams insecurity, and it left many wondering if this was an isolated incident or part of a larger pattern.
He's a comedian, but I think after he got super, super famous from the first Deadpool, then things kind of changed. I think he was like, see, you guys see. And then I think I don't know. I mean, would I work with him again? No.
No.
I would not work with him
that
again.
much vitriol.
Spoiler alert, it wasn't isolated. Ryan's alleged treatment of directors, co-stars, and other crew members has raised plenty of eyebrows over the years. Remember Tim Miller, the director behind the first Deadpool movie. Fans were surprised when he didn't return for the sequel, given how wildly successful the original film had been. At the time, the official narrative was that Miller and Reynolds had creative differences, but recent comments from Miller suggest there might have been more to the story. It became clear that Ryan wanted to be in control of the franchise, Miller said in an interview. "You can work that way as a director quite successfully, but I can't." Translation, Ryan's domineering approach made it impossible for Miller to continue, so he walked away from a project he helped build.
No, he hates
We
you.
had a really weird moment on Deadpool where he said, "Let's do one more take." And everyone was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then as the character, he was like horrifically mean to me. But to me.
Cathartic.
As if I'm Weasel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, you know what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star.
And let's not forget TJ Miller, who played the wisecracking Weasel in the Deadpool movies. As a comedic actor, you'd expect Miller to thrive in an environment like that, but instead, he's been vocal about how uncomfortable he found working with Ryan Reynolds. In a particularly jaw-dropping interview, TJ recounted an incident in which Ryan belittled him in front of the entire crew, making it painfully clear that TJ was a side character and not an important part of the production. Ryan was like, "You know what's great about you, Weasel. You're not the star, but you do just enough exposition that it's funny, and then we can get back to the real movie," TJ recalled. It was humiliating. Hugh Jackman, ever the professional, reportedly tried to stay out of the drama, but sources say he couldn't help but notice the way Ryan's behavior affected morale on set. And while Hugh may have initially brushed off Ryan's antics as part of his larger-than-life persona, the constant microaggressions and power plays eventually took their toll. It's worth noting that Hugh has a reputation for being one of the nicest guys in Hollywood. He's worked with countless directors, actors, and crew members over the years, and you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone with a bad word to say about him. The fact that Hugh is now reportedly distancing himself from Ryan speaks volumes.
You're not kidding when you say this is getting messier. The author of that book deleting her Instagram account, another who plays Baldoni's sister in the film being harassed.
But here's where things get even messier. Hugh Jackman's decision to speak out, or at the very least, stop protecting Ryan, comes at a time when Ryan's public image is already under fire. His wife, Blake Lively, is embroiled in her own legal battle with Justin Baldoni, and the fallout from that case has cast a shadow over the entire Reynolds Lively brand. Insiders are now saying that Ryan's behavior on set mirrors some of the allegations being leveled against Blake, particularly when it comes to controlling and manipulative tendencies. It's a case of art imitating life, and not in a good way.
I believe that it's a continuation of the smear campaign that Blake initially claims happened while they were promoting the film.
Hugh's potential involvement in the Baldoni-Lively legal drama could also be a factor here. The Wolverine star is rumored to have witnessed some of the behind-the-scenes tension between Reynolds and Lively, as well as the alleged smear campaign targeting Baldoni. If this case goes to trial, Hugh may be called to testify, forcing him to choose between protecting his longtime colleague and telling the truth about what he's seen. It's a no-win situation, and sources say Hugh is furious that Ryan's actions have put him in this position.
Wow. No, actually, this is this is genuine. I've never told this story anywhere, but
And then there's the matter of Jake Gyllenhaal. Remember when Ryan and Jake were besties? The two were inseparable during the press tour for their 2017 film Life, but their friendship seems to have evaporated into thin air. While neither party has publicly addressed the fallout, industry insiders suggest that Jake grew tired of Ryan's overbearing personality. Jake saw Ryan's true colors during filming and decided he wanted nothing to do with him. One source claimed, "It's a pattern we've seen before. Ryan gets close to someone. Things seem great for a while, and then the relationship implodes under the weight of his alleged toxicity."
I said that having read through Blake Lively's complaints, that it was evident to me that she was likely under the influence when she filed her complaint.
So what's the takeaway here? Is Ryan Reynolds really the charming, self-deprecating guy we see in interviews, or is that just a carefully crafted persona designed to mask a much darker reality? The more people come forward with their stories, the harder it becomes to ignore the mounting evidence that Ryan's nice guy act might just be that, an act. And as Hugh Jackman prepares to possibly testify in the Baldoni Lively case, the stakes have never been higher. Could this be the beginning of the end for Ryan Reynolds? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, Hollywood is watching and the fallout could be monumental.
It's a creepy Baldoni. Getting close to her, obviously making small chatter not in character so as not to make the scene, which didn't require dialogue, awkward. And he says it smells good.
But just when you thought this drama couldn't get any more tangled, let's zoom in on Justin Baldoni and the absolute whirlwind that has engulfed his career and reputation. If the Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman tension is a wildfire, then the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni saga is a full-blown hurricane tearing through Hollywood. On the surface, Baldoni seemed like the golden boy, charismatic, widely respected for his work on both sides of the camera, and, let's be honest, a heartthrob who could charm even the toughest critics. But now, he's found himself in the eye of a storm so chaotic that it's left everyone wondering if his career can ever recover.
Literally, I'm just asking the question, like, how are women allowed to do this, to take something and to make it sound like you survived a rape? Because that's what it sounded like to the public.
Here's the thing about Justin Baldoni. He's always been seen as an advocate for positivity and change in the industry. His work on projects like Jane the Virgin and his directorial efforts on films like 5 Feet Apart earned him a reputation as a thoughtful, empathetic storyteller. So when news broke that Blake Lively had filed a lawsuit against him alleging harassment and manipulative behavior, it felt like a bomb went off in the industry. Did Baldoni, the guy who was all about uplifting voices and telling meaningful stories, really have a hidden side? Or was this just another brutal casualty of Hollywood's ever-spinning rumor mill?
And one of the most significant allegations in Baldoni's lawsuit is that Lively sought to gain control over the editing process of the film. This is important.
The allegations against Baldoni didn't just come out of nowhere. They hit like a wrecking ball. Lively's lawsuit painted a picture of a toxic environment during the production of their film It Ends With Us, which was supposed to be a heartfelt adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel. Instead, it's now remembered as the project that ignited one of Hollywood's most scandalous legal battles. According to Lively, Baldoni not only created a hostile working environment, but also orchestrated a campaign to tarnish her reputation when she tried to speak out. The accusations ranged from Baldoni allegedly making inappropriate remarks to him leveraging his position as director and producer to exert control over her on set. And the most shocking part, Lively claimed that Baldoni even brought up deeply personal matters, including her late father, in ways that left her feeling manipulated and deeply unsettled.
Now you have two sides here, right? So Baldoni says this was all an effort to hijack the film to get her way. Lively claims she was the victim of harassment in a hostile work environment.
But Baldoni didn't sit quietly and let these accusations define him. Oh no! He came back swinging with a countersuit that accused Lively, and by extension, her husband Ryan Reynolds, of defamation and civil extortion. In his filing, Baldoni alleged that Lively had been trying to destroy his career to gain more control over the film. He even claimed that her legal actions were part of a larger strategy orchestrated by her team to shift public sympathy in her favor while simultaneously painting him as the villain. If this sounds messy, well, that's because it is. And the stakes. They couldn't be higher. Baldoni's countersuit is reportedly seeking hundreds of millions in damages, and both sides have made it clear they're not interested in settling. This is going all the way to court.
Lively's team has denied all of these allegations. They have responded to this filing, this lawsuit.
So how did things get to this point? Insiders close to the situation say that tensions were brewing long before any lawsuits were filed. The production of It Ends With Us was reportedly plagued by creative disagreements between Lively and Baldoni, with both parties wanting to steer the project in different directions. Lively, who had taken on the lead role, apparently felt that her input as an actor wasn't being valued, while Baldoni felt that his vision as director was being undermined. What started as professional disagreements allegedly escalated into personal animosities, with both sides accusing the other of crossing lines. And then there's the matter of the alleged smear campaign. Lively's team has pointed to text messages and emails between Baldoni's publicists that they claim show a coordinated effort to discredit her in the media. One of the most damning pieces of evidence, according to Lively's legal team, is a series of messages where Baldoni's representatives allegedly discussed planting negative stories about her to divert attention from the film's production issues. Baldoni, of course, has denied these allegations, insisting that any negative press about Lively was purely coincidental and not orchestrated by him or his team. But here's the kicker. Lively's lawyers claim to have witnesses who are willing to testify that there was, in fact, a deliberate effort to tarnish her image.
His career, he has been a major proponent of feminism, of healthy masculinity. How does it feel for him, though?
And speaking of witnesses, let's not forget about the other people who were reportedly caught in the crossfire. Two actresses from the It Ends With Us cast have allegedly come forward with their own accounts of uncomfortable interactions with Baldoni. While their names haven't been made public, sources say that their testimonies could play a crucial role in the upcoming trial. One of these co-stars reportedly filed a complaint after an interaction with Baldoni that left her feeling deeply unsettled. This actress, who was juggling her role on the film with being a parent, claimed that Baldoni offered to reimburse her for a housing issue, but did so in a way that felt manipulative and overly personal. Another cast member has reportedly described feeling pressured to side with Baldoni during escalating tensions between him and Lively, despite not wanting to be involved in the drama.
Shutting down a woman's claim.
She is claiming that there was harassment. He's saying none of it is true, never happened, never did.
What's striking about this whole ordeal is how it's forcing Hollywood to confront some uncomfortable truths about its own culture. The industry has long been criticized for enabling power imbalances that allow toxic behavior to flourish, and this case is shining a harsh spotlight on those dynamics. Both Lively and Baldoni are high-profile figures, and their feud has become a flashpoint for larger conversations about accountability, respect, and the abuse of power in the entertainment world. As one insider put it, this isn't just about Blake and Justin anymore. This is about the entire industry taking a hard look at itself and asking, how do we let it get to this point? But while the broader implications are important, the personal stakes for Lively and Baldoni are just as significant. For Lively, this case isn't just about clearing her name. It's about protecting her family and her career. She's described the emotional toll this has taken on her, from the stress of constant media scrutiny to the impact it's had on her husband and children. Baldoni, on the other hand, is fighting to salvage his reputation and prove that he's not the villain he's been made out to be. His lawyers have argued that the allegations against him are baseless and that Lively's actions have already caused irreparable harm to his career.
That Justin won't be bullied by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. So his lawyer told us that their recent court filings show how scared they are.
And let's not forget about Ryan Reynolds, who has found himself dragged into this mess through his association with Lively. While he hasn't been directly accused of any wrongdoing, his support for his wife has inevitably made him a target for criticism from Baldoni's camp. At one point, Baldoni's legal team even alleged that Reynolds tried to pressure him into issuing a public statement taking responsibility for the film's production issues, a claim that Reynolds has vehemently denied. The tension between these two camps is palpable, and it's clear that this is about more than just legal battles or public relations. This is personal.
And he says, look, this is just, Hollywood is based on pure fear, cultivated by both of them and their very powerful friends in entertainment.
As the trial date looms closer, Hollywood is bracing itself for what promises to be one of the most explosive legal showdowns in recent memory. The trial isn't just an opportunity for both sides to present their cases. It's a spectacle that will likely dominate headlines and spark countless debates about who's right, who's wrong, and what this all means for the people involved. Will Lively be able to prove her claims and emerge as a champion for accountability in the industry? Or will Baldoni succeed in clearing his name and reclaiming his status as one of Hollywood's most promising talents? The truth, as they say, is often stranger than fiction, and in this case, it's also far messier. So, what do you think about this Hollywood hurricane? Are you siding with Team Lively or Team Baldoni? Or do you think there's more to this story that we haven't even uncovered yet? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates on this jaw-dropping drama. Because trust us, this is just the beginning.